Good damn morning, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Make sure you get over to jerichogreen.net so you can get my videos first. Sign up for a $3.99 monthly subscription and also follow me on Rumble. So, I took my daughter the other day. I mentioned it in a video I did that day, but we went out on our date. We finally got back to our date routine. I usually take her once a month. We go out, mall, movie, whatever, get something to eat. Just chill out, talk, hang out, catch up with her, find out her perspective on things in life, and just spend quality time with her because, I have a son too. So it's hard to give your kid that solo attention sometimes. So I like to do that with her. Plus, in the far back corners of my mind, hopefully I'll set the bar high enough. She won't want to date any stupid boys and she'll live with me forever. Fingers crossed. But she wanted to see that new movie called Jungle Cruise by Disney. Now, knowing what's going on and knowing what's in programming these days, it's a difficult choice to make sometimes because you can't really explain to your kids what's going on. This SJW bullshit, this trying to indoctrinate our kids with their LGBT alphabet soup group bullshit. So you can't really explain to them what all that is, and sometimes you don't want to because you don't want to rob them of that innocence. You want them to just see things and enjoy them and play and have that kid life. So she really wanted to see it. She's been watching the trailers. Daddy, I want to see this movie. When I got home, she was already dressed, ready to go. She's so excited. So I'm like, okay, we'll go watch the movie. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'll be on the lookout. They ain't going to slip no shit past me. They're not going to get nothing past this old guard dog. So we go to the movie theater and we sit down and watch it, and it starts, and right off the bat, I can see it. The main character, the woman, Emma something, I don't know, some British actress, and she's trying to steal something, and she's kind of a badass, and she steals something and they find her. Stop her! Right? It takes place in, I believe, the early 1900s. I think like 1914, something like that. Because there's a scene in the beginning where she lands on this bus and there's like soldiers, and she goes, "Oh, shipping out, boys," or whatever. So I believe it's around the time of World War I. And so she steals something and stop her, blah, blah, blah. And she, like kicks some shit in their face and slams some dude's head against some shit, knocks him out. And she like fucks up like 2 or 3 dudes on her way out. And then she's hanging out of a building, and then she falls, and that's when she lands in those double-decker buses or whatever, tour buses. She lands on the bus, and that's when she's with the soldiers and, all this shit. So she gets away with it. So she's a badass. And I'm not saying women can't be badasses, but usually they're not. So she has this brother who's with her all the time, and it starts with there's some scientific association that she wants to be a part of, but it's 1914. We'll just say 1914. It's 1914, and women aren't allowed in certain places. So she sent her brother to read her paper, hoping they would accept it, and then she could somehow say, "Surprise! It's a woman. Accept me." But they don't. So she's looking for something, some lost artifact that's going to take her to this hidden treasure. That romancing the stone, Indiana Jones type shit. So she goes and finds the Rock, and he's another beta bitch. I lost respect for him once he threw his support behind Biden's pervertus and that cackling whore. So he's in it. Biggest bitch you've ever seen. 6'5", 275 pounds, a bitch. So she finds the Rock, and he's this boat captain, and she needs him to take her down the river so she can find this artifact. And she shows up in Brazil where he is, because it's in the Amazon. And she shows up, and she's wearing pants. And her brother's like, "Are you wearing pants?" And she's like, "What's wrong with wearing pants?" And all this shit. And the Rock even gives her the nickname Pants, because it's so crazy to see a woman in pants. And it was in 1914. So, "Oh, you're wearing pants. I can't believe you're wearing pants." So everybody's tripping off her pants, and you could tell that Yes, this took place back then, but they're trying to say that it's still like that now. They're trying to say that men are still trying to hold women back like that now, which is bullshit. And I'm hoping, because my daughter, she didn't say anything, and I know my daughter, if she has a question, she's going to ask. So it went over her head, a lot of it, but I'm hoping it went over her subliminal mind as well. I hope that she didn't get it, but her subliminal mind caught that. I hope none of that stuck with her, because it's bullshit. So she gets with The Rock and convinces him to take her down the river and shit, and I'll do it for this much money, but you're a girl, and whatever. So they go down, and through the movie, they get in these little mishaps, these little scuffles, and she's, swashbuckling and swinging on shit, kicking dudes in the face. Look, are there women out there who are badass like this? Yes. 9 out of 10 of them are not. No woman's gonna be out there doing parkour on a fucking boat, kicking people's ass in the Amazon with all them damn bugs and creepy crawly things. It ain't happening. I've told you before, if we find a spider in the house, nobody in the house rests until we bring my wife an 8-legged corpse. She don't do spiders. My daughter's the same way. If it has more legs than her, kill it. So she's in the jungle doing all this bullshit, and then there's a moment where she's away, and it's The Rock and her brother, and her brother's just really, oh, say, let me go have tea at the like, he doesn't do dirt, and he's like, oh, it's so disgusting, and he has 20 fucking suitcases he wants to bring on the boat and all this shit, and remind me when we leave here, blah blah blah, all this shit, right? So he has a moment where it's just him and The Rock chilling. They're cruising down the river, and he starts talking, and Rock asks the brother, why do you follow her on all these crazy adventures? Isn't there somebody else that can go with her on all this shit? And he says, well, my family, they all turned on me, and they turned their back, and they don't love me anymore. Oh, because of who I love. Yes, people, the brother was gay. Why? Why in the fuck did you need to make a character in a Disney movie gay? Because they are subliminally trying to convince our kids that it's normal. It's not normal. Okay? Gay people are like 1% of the population. It's not normal. Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing because it's not normal, but it's not fucking normal. Stop trying to propagandize our kids into believing that shit. Kids are inherently kind and accepting. Leave them alone. Let life present these things to them. They will handle it well. I promise you. Because we grew up without this bullshit propaganda, and I accept gay people just fine. If I don't like you, it's not because you're gay. You're probably an asshole. No pun intended. So, of course, the brother is gay. And shame on all those people in 1914 for not throwing their arms open and accepting him. So since she accepted him, accepted his gayness, he will follow her to the ends of the earth. And his sexuality, his sexual preference played no part in the movie, so why mention it? Because it's propaganda. It's indoctrination. Why else would you put something in there that has nothing to do with the storyline? It's bullshit. And then at the end, you're a woman, you're a woman, you're a woman. Oh, you can't wear pants, you're a woman. That's not how it is now. Women wear pants all the time. No one's keeping them out of these scientific societies anymore. Okay? We've gotten past that. Women, come on in. It's not like that anymore, so stop telling our children that it is. That's damaging. Why would you send a message to little girls that the world doesn't want you? Why would you do that? And like I said, I hope my daughter didn't catch that in her subconscious mind. And when I watch these movies with her, I am there calling out bullshit when I see it. I try to do it nicely because I don't want to ruin her experience. I don't want her to think I don't like the movie, because I don't know about you guys, but little girls want the approval of their father. They want their dad to like things that they're into. So when we're watching this movie, for me to shit all over it the whole time and act like I don't like it, that's not productive. That's going to hurt her feelings. So I don't want to do that. But I do call this shit out in a nice, productive way, if you will, whenever I can. Like I've told her and stuff before, that's nonsense. You can do whatever you want. No one's holding you back. Only you hold you back. There's no, and we watched this show, what's it called? Raising Dion or something, I think, on Netflix, about this little boy who gets special powers through a storm or some shit like that, or through his father who went through this storm. And it's chock full of the white man trying to keep us down. I didn't know that going into it. And then it's like a season, so once you're in, you got to finish. And again, I try not to shit on the stuff that they like. I just try to let them know the truth here and there. So when I see stuff like that, I do call it out. So hopefully my efforts are enough for her to not drink this Kool-Aid and believe that shit. That's why it's important when they come home from school, you know, check in on them, talk about what'd you learn today, what they talk about, go to the meetings, keep up on their curriculum, because they are betting, they are counting on parents to be asleep at the fucking wheel and not communicating with their kids, not keeping up on what they're watching so they can just poison them with this shit. They're counting on that. They need that to happen. So we need to be vigilant, and watch out for this shit. Now, there wasn't a whole bunch of it, but there was some. And aside from that, it was a good movie. It was a Disney, the big sets and all the explosions and the extras. It was a good movie, minus the SJW alphabet soup group, the world is sexist against women bullshit. Do I recommend it? Yeah, I recommend it. Like I said, it was a good movie minus the bullshit. And now that you know about the bullshit, you'll be watching out for the bullshit. So, Disney, Jungle Cruise, as a Disney movie, good. SJW bullshit, bad. That's what I think. Now, let me get home with my beautiful wife because my kids are in school. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Get your Jericho Green notification tone link in the description box. Utilize the PayPal link, Teespring link, JerichoGreen.net, and Rumble. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.